Galactic Federation Update, December 10, 2013. 4x, 17 Yokskin, 10 Carbon. Selamat Jawa. We return with much to explain. During the last few weeks much progress was made legally to force a number of important things to happen. The major monetary organizations that monitor the world's currencies were told to prepare for a monumental reset that was to conclude with new banking regulations and eventually a series of precious metal currencies. This vast change is to be the prelude to the delivery of the prosperity funds and the rise of new governance. This process continues. The several groups that form our Earth allies have forced a number of ground-shattering agreements to be signed and several critical memos to be issued. These items are now causing the desired change to occur in a timely and divine manner. We fully expect these things to manifest shortly. The most important forward movement began on American Thanksgiving, when Europe fundamentally committed itself to a worldwide currency reset. This sets up the dates for a release of newly revalued currencies. The next steps are underway. Agreements are being signed to assure that the prime principle behind global prosperity happens as soon as possible. A number of governments have met with our allies and reviewed in detail what is to come next. A vast amount of protected gold bullion and sterling are now in position to force a more stable currency upon the world. The proposed revaluations will set up a currency system that ends the dominance of North America and Western Europe. A new reality that is based upon a diplomacy that is not conflict-oriented has been agreed to. Included in these agreements is a path to disclosure and the release of a plethora of new technologies currently suppressed. These technologies are a means to aid the entire disclosure scenario. It is critical to remove any present obstacles to disclosure and full consciousness. The Dark and its various groups of minions are under the gun. Nonetheless, we understand that you need time to fully absorb what all of this now implies. Our liaisons are working jointly with those from Agartha. Our divine purpose is to move this all along as swiftly as possible. The Ascended Masters are informing their dearest followers of what is now required. We need to use the various exigencies of international law to keep this in line and moving ever forward. Various monetary institutions have ruled in our favor and set up some key timetables. These are presently being advanced by our earthly associates and are aided by the work of our mutual liaisons. Our commitment remains to unravel the current dark-dominated muddle that runs your globe. This operation continues to proceed at its own divine rate. Several major governments that sit at the head of this chaos know our diligence and know just how fragile their positions have become. This leads to some panic, and what they are cooking up in Asia and in Europe will not fly. Hence, numerous other governments are now either openly or secretly opposing these various schemes. Our position, and that of the Agarthans, is quite similar in approach. The time comes to bring this morass, like the approaching end of this Gregorian year, to a full stop. It is time to terminate these things and move on to the next steps, which include a full global disclosure. Disclosure puts a final stop to these hilarious shenanigans, and permits a full unveiling of what has been going on for the past 1.5 decades. These past years saw gigantic attempts to squash your return to full consciousness. These largely failed. What is left will be discontinued once disclosure happens. The mischief that the Dark prefers is known and is currently being curtailed. A few things will still occur, but these are only temporary. The means to undo these obstructions are in hand. What is presently happening is aimed at providing for a way to speed up what the Dark delays. We are moving forward at a good clip and intend to bring you good news shortly. The Dark is on its last legs and realizes that the end is indeed very near. Blessings. We are your Ascended Masters. We arrived today with some blessed news. Your globe is entering the beginnings of a new reality. Many currency changes are popping up around your world. These changes are to be followed by other events that will bring forth a new prosperity, and dramatic alterations will foster the rise of new governance and much stricter banking regulations. Our many acolytes are engaged in operations to bring a blessed reality to this divine orb. Your realm is presently in the midst of a series of very important secret negotiations to bring you prosperity and freedom. Meanwhile, new sacral energies are changing the very makeup of your physical selves. These transformations of your bodies are introducing new chakras, and with their occurrence, some aches, pains and other discomforts. These are merely to pave your way to full consciousness. These spiritual and physical alterations are a part of a greater plan to move the sacred reality into the light. Heaven decreed some time ago that the reign of the Dark Ones was at an end. This time is the transition when the Dark's powers wane and the light starts its renewed ascendancy. Our divine mission is to accelerate these transformations and to inform you of what this all means to your sacred beliefs and to your many cherished visions of this reality. We fully understand your confusion as you listen to many of the manipulated stories that your media intends to provide you. The Dark's many minions do not yet fully realize what is proper for them to say. The best thing is for the light to come forward and explain at the right moment what is truly happening around you. We have been given this most blessed task. Your world is in upheaval. Gaia is throwing off all the abuse and torture given her daily by the Dark's many representatives. This process produces a myriad of strong earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and odd weather prevalent throughout this globe. This is going to get a lot worse until the Dark's prime instruments of this tortuous abuse are completely stopped. Money is indeed something that holds a large degree of power over you. It needs to be put in its proper perspective. The currency reset, global gold standard, debt forgiveness, new prosperity and strict new banking regulations will help achieve this goal. Money, dear hearts, is not vital. Your growth in consciousness and a grand caring for each other most certainly is. Along with this is the vital need for love, life and divine wisdom. This is the path that you have been put on. Hosanna! 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 Today, we gave you another in our series of messages about the transformation of this reality. Heaven and heaven's many divine helpers on this sacred globe are moving swiftly toward a resolution of the numerous effects perpetrated by the Dark upon you. The moment arrives for all that has tortured you to be gone. A new day is approaching for all who dwell upon the surface of this earth. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are indeed yours. So be it. Selamat Gajan. Selamat Ya, Syrian for B1. And be in joy. Channeled by Sheldon Neidl. www.paoweb.com